Welcome to Marcus Aurelius Way. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below. What terrifies people the most is not your anger. It's not the words you throw in rage. It's the silence that follows when you're gone. Because silence is not empty. It's the echo of everything they once took for granted. And when you disappear, when you stop chasing, stop explaining, stop pouring your energy into someone who stopped appreciating it, that's when the real panic begins. Absence does what presence never could. It teaches. It teaches them the taste of emptiness where your warmth used to be. It teaches them the weight of your absence in every corner of their lives. It teaches them how heavy regret feels when they realize the man they dismissed is no longer waiting. People don't learn through comfort. They learn through loss. They don't cherish the light until they're standing alone in the dark. They don't value your presence until the silence starts screaming louder than your words ever did. You never lost them. They lost you. And your absence? It isn't revenge. It's evolution. It's the shift that shakes their reality and forces them to confront a truth they never wanted to face. You were never the one who needed to prove your worth. They were the ones who needed to earn your presence. And if this message already hits something deep, this audio is the original content of Marcus Aurelius Way. Unauthorized copying, re-uploading, or reproduction is strictly prohibited and may result in a copyright claim or strike. Because this journey is just beginning, start this journey now. Drop a 1 if you're done chasing validation. Drop a 2 if you're ready to let your silence speak louder than words. 1. Your absence reveals your value. They never truly saw you when you were standing right in front of them. Your kindness was assumed, your love was expected, and your time was treated like it had no expiration date. They believed your presence was permanent, a steady light that would always be there, no matter how carelessly they treated it. But when you chose to step back, when you quietly walked away without anger or theatrics, something shifted. The silence you left behind was louder than any goodbye, and in that silence, they were forced to confront a truth they had refused to see. Suddenly, the world feels different to them. Conversations lack warmth, days feel heavier. The chaos they once managed so easily now feels unsteady because the calm center, you, is gone. They begin to understand that it was never the relationship that kept their life from falling apart. It was you, your consistency, your patience, your unwavering presence. What they once dismissed as ordinary now reveals itself as extraordinary. And that is the quiet power of absence. It teaches lessons that presence never could. It shows that your love was not a given, it was a gift. Your attention was not an obligation, it was a privilege. And your energy was not replaceable, it was rare. So do not chase them, and do not explain yourself. Let time do what words cannot. Because with every passing day, the weight of what they lost will grow heavier, and the memory of what they had will haunt them far more than your silence ever could. And this is only the beginning of what your absence will make them realize. 2. Your silence exposes their intentions. Silence reveals more about people than any confession ever could. When you were always available, always responding, always giving the benefit of the doubt, it was easy for them to hide behind comforting words and surface-level gestures. Sweet promises kept you hopeful, and their charm kept you invested. But none of it was a true reflection of who they were. Your constant presence acted like a shield, one that concealed their real motives and allowed them to maintain control over the dynamic. But everything changes the moment you stop responding. When your attention, the very fuel that kept their ego alive, is no longer there, the mask begins to crack. The silence becomes uncomfortable, and in that discomfort, their true character starts to emerge. Some grow angry because their control is slipping. Others vanish completely because they were only there when it benefited them. And some will try to manipulate, guilt trip, or shame you back into the old pattern because they were never truly interested in you, only in what you provided. This is where silence becomes your greatest strategy. It's not weakness or avoidance. It's a filter. It strips away pretense and forces people to reveal themselves. The ones who genuinely value you will approach with respect, patience, and consistency. The ones who don't will expose their selfishness in how they react to your distance. And once you see the difference, you can't unsee it. Silence transforms confusion into clarity and doubt into undeniable truth. It shows you who was drawn to your soul and who was merely drawn to your energy. And when you understand that, you'll never waste your presence on the wrong people again, because now you know exactly who deserves access to your world. And this clarity is only the beginning of the power your silence holds. 3. Your absence forces them to face themselves. When you walk away, they are left alone with the one person they've spent their entire life avoiding, themselves. It's a confrontation they never prepared for, and one they desperately tried to escape while you were still there. Because the truth is, your presence shielded them. You were the one who absorbed their chaos when they refused to deal with it. You softened the edges of their flaws, carried the weight of their moods, and became the emotional cushion that kept them from crashing into their own reality. And without even realizing it, they started using you as a mirror to reflect everything they didn't want to see, until you were gone. Now, in the silence you left behind, there is nowhere left to run. Every ignored text, every dismissed feeling, every selfish word spoken in a moment of carelessness now echoes back at them louder than ever. They replay conversations in their mind and wonder why they didn't listen. They revisit the moments when you needed them and feel the sting of their own indifference. Regret becomes the new background noise of their life, not because you're punishing them, but because your absence has stripped away every distraction that once kept them from accountability. This is the part they never saw coming. They thought you would always be there to absorb the impact, to forgive, to stay. But your silence is now the consequence of their choices, a lesson delivered not out of anger, but out of necessity. It's not there to hurt them, it's there to wake them up, and the more days pass, the heavier that reality becomes. They start to question not just what they did, but who they were when they did it. They begin to see the cracks in their own character, the selfish patterns they ignored, the damage they caused without even noticing. So don't chase apologies, don't demand explanations. None of that matters now. The void you left behind is doing the work for you. It's become the mirror they can't look away from, and every reflection in it is a truth they can no longer deny. And what they'll come to understand next is that this confrontation with themselves is only the beginning of their real reckoning. 4. Your absence exposes their true dependence. They told themselves they didn't need you. They convinced their friends that they were fine without you. They even tried to believe it themselves, until the moment your presence disappeared and their world stopped functioning the way it used to. Most people don't actually know how to love. They know how to rely, how to take, how to build their comfort on someone else's strength. They believed they were in control, that they were the solid one, the strong one, the one holding everything together. But what they never understood was that their confidence wasn't built on who they were. It was built on the foundation of you. When you stepped away, that foundation began to crack. The warmth they once mocked now feels like oxygen. The reassurance they dismissed is now the one thing they desperately crave. All the energy they took for granted, the support they believed was guaranteed, is suddenly gone, and they have no idea how to replace it. So they search for you in the smallest ways. They check your profile more times than they'd admit. They reread old messages, looking for meaning they once ignored. They cling to even the faintest trace of your energy from afar. And in that quiet panic, a deeper truth emerges. The control they thought they had over you was never real. They never had control over themselves. Your silence is now the mirror they can't look away from. It reflects a reality they don't want to see, that they were never the strong one in the story. You were. You were the steady presence that anchored their chaos, the emotional foundation that held their world together. And now, stripped of your presence, they're forced to face how dependent they truly were on what you brought into their life. This is why you must not rush back to soothe their guilt or reassure them that everything is okay. Doing so would rob them of the most important lesson they could ever learn, that your presence was a gift, not a guarantee. Let the void you left behind become their teacher. Let the silence remind them that love is not something they are entitled to. It is something they must cherish, protect, and reciprocate. And as the days pass, that lesson will only grow heavier until the weight of their dependence becomes impossible to ignore. And this is where the real shift in power begins. 5. Silence reveals your evolution. They walked away thinking you would stay exactly where they left you. They assumed that the version of you who over-explained, over-gave, and over-cared would be waiting in the same place, still chasing their approval, still desperate for them to understand your worth. But silence has a way of rewriting everything. In the stillness they mistook for weakness. Something powerful was happening. You were transforming. Solitude became your teacher. Space became your ally. And while they were busy repeating the same old cycles, you were quietly evolving into someone stronger, calmer, and infinitely wiser. There is a strange irony in this kind of growth. It often goes unnoticed until it's too late. At first, they might convince themselves that you're unchanged, that at any moment they could return and you'd still be there, waiting, hoping, hurting. But then something unsettles them. The version of you they dismissed so easily is gone. The man who once explained himself now lets his silence speak. The one who overextended now protects his peace. The one who begged to be seen no longer needs anyone's eyes but his own. And this realization cuts deeper than any words ever could. It's not just that they miss you, it's that they no longer recognize you. They see glimpses of your growth in your actions, your boundaries, your discipline, and it terrifies them because it reminds them of the truth. They had access to you before the evolution, but now they don't even know how to approach the person you've become. That is the true power of silence. It's not passive. It's not avoidance. It's the sound of your soul rebuilding itself from the inside out. It's the undeniable proof that you no longer need them to validate your worth. You've already discovered it for yourself. So choose silence not as retreat, but as evolution. Every day you grow beyond their reach is a silent victory. Every boundary you build a testament to how far you've come. And one day, they'll realize that the silence they once dismissed wasn't the end of a story. It was the beginning of your becoming. And that realization will haunt them more than your words ever could. 6. Your silence exposes their motives. Silence has a way of stripping away illusions and revealing the truth that words often hide. As long as they could control your emotions, they could control you, and they liked it that way. Your reactions were their power source. Every time you argued, explained, or defended yourself, you handed them another piece of control. But the moment you withdrew that energy, the moment you stopped reacting, their grip began to slip. And without that control, something important happens. Their true motives start to surface. Now, stripped of the ability to pull your emotional strings, they become restless. They don't know how to handle a version of you that no longer responds on command. And in that discomfort, They show you exactly who they are. Some approach with humility, genuinely seeking to understand and reconnect. Others lash out with anger, hostility, or manipulation, revealing that their connection to you was never about love. It was about control. Silence doesn't confuse them, it exposes them. It shows you whether they were drawn to your heart or just to the power they had over it. And this is the beauty of restraint. You no longer need to fight to prove a point or demand the truth. Their behavior tells you everything you need to know. Watch closely, and you'll see intentions unfold before you, intentions that would have stayed hidden if you had continued to feed them with reactions. The truth that silence reveals cuts deeper than any confrontation ever could. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. And that clarity gives you a power they can no longer reach. And this revelation is just the beginning of how silence reshapes every dynamic in your life. 7. Your growth. Without them is their worst nightmare. They expected your world to fall apart without them. They imagined you would collapse under the weight of heartbreak, stuck in a cycle of regret and longing. But instead, something far more powerful happened. Your world expanded. The silence they mistook for defeat became the soil where your strength took root. And every step you took forward without them shattered the illusion of control they once clung to. People feel powerful when they believe they've broken you. It reassures their ego, it validates their decisions, and it gives them the false comfort of thinking you'll never truly move on. But when you rise, not out of revenge but from purpose, that illusion crumbles. You stop chasing their approval and start pursuing your own evolution. You rebuild with discipline, you focus on growth, and you cultivate a peace that no one can take from you, and suddenly the story changes. Your silence now says everything words cannot. I don't need you to rise. It becomes a declaration of independence, a quiet anthem of strength. And as your life begins to flourish, as you achieve new goals, embrace new passions, and move forward with unshakable clarity, they watch from the sidelines. Every accomplishment becomes a mirror reflecting their mistake. Every boundary you hold is a reminder of the power they underestimated. And every moment you thrive without them forces them to face a reality they never expected. They were never the reason you were whole. Here's the truth. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to flaunt your success or announce your transformation. Growth is the loudest revenge. Evolution is the most painful mirror. And the version of you they once dismissed is now someone they can't even reach. Keep becoming. Keep expanding. Let your transformation speak for itself, and let their regret be theirs to carry. Because the greatest power you'll ever hold is the life you build after they thought they ended yours. And that's only the beginning of their real nightmare. 8. Your absence teaches them value. Absence is not cruelty, it's clarity. It's the mirror that strips away illusions and forces people to confront what they refused to see when you were right in front of them. As long as you were present, they treated your kindness like a given, your patience like an endless supply, and your forgiveness like an automatic reset button. They assumed you would always be there, waiting, understanding, accepting, no matter how many times they ignored your needs or dismissed your worth. But the moment you stepped back, reality shifted. The silence that follows your absence isn't just empty space. It's a teacher. It teaches them that your presence was never guaranteed. It was a privilege, one that had to be earned through effort, respect, and reciprocity. And now, with that privilege gone, the weight of its absence presses on them with every passing day. What once felt stable now feels uncertain. What once felt comforting now feels cold. The conversations that used to flow effortlessly now feel hollow. The laughter they once took for granted now echoes in their memory as something rare and irreplaceable. This is where regret begins to grow, They start to replay the choices they made, the dismissive comments, the selfish decisions, the moments they didn't show up when you needed them most. They begin to understand that taking someone for granted always comes with a cost, even if that cost arrives quietly, without anger or revenge. And the more they sit with that emptiness, the clearer it becomes. You weren't just another presence in their life. You were the anchor that kept things steady. Your absence becomes the lesson their comfort once shielded them from. It teaches them that love isn't unconditional access. It's a sacred exchange. It teaches them that your time, energy, and effort were not obligations. They were gifts. And when gifts are mishandled, they can be taken away. What they once believed was permanent now feels fragile. What they once believed they controlled is now beyond their reach. This is why your absence is more powerful than any explanation you could ever give. Words can be debated, apologies can be manipulated, but the void left behind when you walk away cannot be reasoned with. It simply is. And it forces them to reckon with the reality of their choices. So don't rush back to ease their guilt. Don't break your silence to make them understand. The most profound message you will ever send is the one delivered without a single word. Protect your energy. Guard your peace. Your presence is not a prize they're entitled to. It's a privilege they must rise to meet. And if they cannot, let your absence be the quiet consequence that teaches them the value they refuse to see. Because in the end, it is not your anger that will change them. It is the emptiness where your love used to be. And that lesson, once learned, will echo in their hearts far longer than anything you could ever say. Brother, here's the truth I want you to sit with. Silence and absence aren't signs of weakness. They're strategy. They're how a man reclaims power in a world that once made him feel small. When you stop chasing, stop explaining, and quietly walk away, everything shifts. The mask comes off. Your absence shows them how much of their world was built on your strength. Your silence exposes motives they tried to hide, and the emptiness you leave behind forces them to face themselves, their mistakes, their selfishness, their dependence. This isn't about revenge, it's about clarity. Most people only learn through loss. They don't see your value until they feel the void where your presence used to be. They don't grasp how rare your patience, loyalty, and energy were until they're gone. And by then it's too late, because you've grown beyond the man they once knew. So don't break your silence to prove anything. Don't return to ease their guilt. Protect your energy. Guard your peace. Your absence is the message, and it speaks louder than words ever could.